Hey y'all, it's Chris and Tammy with Collard Valley Cooks, and today we are making a delicious lemon meringue pie. And I have the easiest way in the world to make your lemon meringue, and boy, is it beautiful and so delicious. Let's get started. We are going to show you how to make the easiest lemon meringue you've ever made and the tastiest. And we're going to start out zesting our lemon first. Okay, I've already got my lemon juice extracted. Last year we had a lot of lemons from our neighbors, and I actually froze the lemon juice in these little containers, and it's exactly a half cup, and that's about what you use for a recipe. So we're going to be using one of those. I thought it out for this recipe. And then we've got a lemon, and we're just going to zest it right here. And I learned that if I use parchment, it's easier to use the zest. Now, when you zest a lemon, do not get into the white part. And some people, like if they make the lemon lush, which is really popular, I have had a few of them say that it was bitter, and that's the only thing I could think of that would make their lemon dessert bitter, is if when they did the zest, they cut out too deep into the pulp. Now we're gonna fix our filling and get it ready for the microwave. We're gonna be microwaving this instead of cooking it on the stove top. If you've got a non-stick cooking pot, you can always cook it on the stove top till it gets thick, but this is my favorite way to do it. This lemon meringue pie recipe is in our Volume 2 cookbook. The first thing we're gonna do is put in a cup of sugar and 6 tablespoons of cornstarch. And this is what makes it thicken. And the great thing about cornstarch is when it gets hot and it cooks, it turns clear and makes desserts really pretty and toppings really pretty compared to flour. So whenever you're making a dessert, I always want to use cornstarch instead of flour to thicken stuff. Now, that way it gets clearer. And now let's put in our salt. We got a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So that's your dry ingredients first, and now all you're going to do is add your wet ingredients. It's super simple. So we're going to put in 2 cups of water, a 1/2 cup of lemon juice, pulp and all, just no seeds, of course. And then you've got your egg yellows. You've got 4 egg yellows. Today I'm using 5 eggs because I'm using a 5-egg meringue so that it'll be nice and tall. And but you can get by with 4. And now all you're going to do is whisk this together. Good. Do a really good job whisking it. Get it in the microwave. 3 minutes. Now I have an 1100 watt microwave. I have an 1100 watt microwave. And I cook it 3 minutes to start with. Then we're going to stir it up really good. All right, it's been 3 minutes, and during that 3 minutes, we put up some of our mess. Just whisk it really good. You don't want any cornstarch to be left in the bottom of the batter bowl or on the sides. So just do a really good job whisking it and get it right back in there. And now you're just going to heat it. You're going to cook it on 2-minute intervals until it's nice and thick, okay? Everybody's microwave's a little bit different, so don't take it out early thinking it's going to thicken up later. Get it as thick as you see me get it in this video before you pour it out. So you may have to cook yours a little longer than I do, or a little less than I do. Are we on? Mm-hmm. All right, we got 12 seconds left on the microwave timer. Let's see how this is looking, y'all. Nice and bubbly on the top. And it's getting thick. Look how pretty that is. You can't make a prettier filling than this as long as you do what I tell you to, and make sure you whisk it. If you don't have a wire whisk, then I suggest get you one real quick before you make a pudding or filling in the microwave, okay? And a batter bowl. Now, I'm going to let this get a little bit thicker. I won't cook it 2 more minutes. So come on over here, and the first thing we're going to do is turn it on with wire whisk. We'll be using our egg whites, and I'm using 5 today. We're going to be using a ½ teaspoon of cream of tartar and 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. So you're going to start with your egg whites, and you're going to put them in here, and you're going to beat them until they're a little bit frothy. And once they start bubbling a little bit, on getting a little foamy, then we're going to throw in our cornstarch, our cream of tartar, and sugar. Matter of fact, the best thing to do is mix it up. So if you go ahead and combine your dry ingredients, then you're just going to add them to your egg whites while they're beaten. So you got 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, ½ teaspoon of cream of tartar, and a 1/4 cup of sugar. And so now we're going to combine these, and I'm going to take a little plastic spatula and really smash that into there so that it mixes it up really well. Boy, that cornstarch gets everywhere. It's definitely ready. And so once it's nice and thick like this, you're going to add your butter, 3 tablespoons. And I use salted butter in every single recipe I make. So if you have a cookbook, and I call for butter or margarine, always use salted. And then we're going to pour it over there in our pie shell and top it with this meringue. It's best to put meringue on a hot filling to help cook the egg whites, okay? So I'm not going to pour this out and let it cool down before I put my meringue on there. I'm going to let it sit here for a second. We're going to mix this meringue up, and then we'll do those, we'll top them. All right, and then turn it off. Don't overbeat it. Turn it off and check it. But once you can get a peak out of it that stands up like that, it's ready. So it's ready already. We'll leave a little bit for the top. So we're going to put about half in here. And just a little bit for the top. So I'm going to beat this up a little bit. We're going to pour it in our shell. Pre-baked pie crust. And I just use the refrigerated ones. I don't make it. Okay. And you're going to want to seal it around the edges first, so the meringue should touch the crust just like that all the way around. Those eggs didn't look very big to me, and they still didn't make a real tall meringue, did they? So we're just going to curl it a little bit. So we're going to put the zest on it after it comes out of the oven, because I think if we put the zest on there, it might get too brown. So we're just going to go ahead and put our pie in here. Now when you get out a meringue pie, you have to be very careful so you don't mess up the top. So I'm going to use this. And now we got to let it cool. Let's cut it and eat it. Every time me and Chris come in here, the dogs and the kitty cats decide to go to their buffet. And so you might hear them eating too before it's over. All right, we're gonna cut into this beautiful pie. Lemon meringue, and I think I'll have Chris take our neighbors a piece since these lemons came from her last year. These are Meyer lemons. Whoops, I messed it up. Let me get you a better piece because I messed that meringue up. We want the picture to be pretty, don't we, Daddy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the best thing to do with meringue pie is eat it the day you make it. So if you're gonna make it for somebody, try to make it the day of the party or get together. Looks good, don't it? Let's get a bite. Let's get a bite. I left some of the crust in the bottom. Mm-mm-mm. Right through there. Looks delish. Mm-mm-mm-mm. So easy, y'all. And it's beautiful. You need to make you a lemon meringue this weekend. It's so good. Beautiful color for Easter. So make you a delicious lemon meringue pie this year because they sure are pretty and they sure are good. We'll see you next time on Colored Valley Cooks, where we cook like our mamas did. Bye, y'all. Love ya.
Tammy, she just showed you how to cook it up like Mama used to do. So go on out and have some fun. Now you're getting dinner done with collard